Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Racing Addicts podcast. We're back in studio, and we are talking about Phoenix. We're a full pack tonight. So we got Alex.
They are full.
We got Mitchell.
Hey.
Nolan, and myself.
Howdy.
What do you guys think about the race? Phoenix. I'm not going to lie. I slept the whole way through the second stage.
You didn't miss anything.
I
I slept through most of the second stage. It was great. The nap was fantastic.
I was in a boredom-induced psychosis during the second stage, so it was effectively the same.
Isn't that when Corey got wrecked out?
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, we're there already.
We're like 30 seconds in, Dave.
Well, it wasn't his fault. That was more of a jab at John Hunter Nemechek.
I mean, we'll throw it on now. John Hunter Nemechek is 2 for 2 on causing pileups this weekend. So
That's true. He had an interesting thing at the front there during the Xfinity race.
He did.
You got to talk about that too.
I
man.
tweeted this afternoon that John Hunter's going to have team owners coming after him as he tries to leave the track tonight.
Yep. No, you asked you asked how the race was. I mean, I like the other Phoenix race, the one yesterday. That was all right.
Yeah, Xfinity. I mean, Phoenix is still a dud. Like, why are we going to this track twice a year? My gosh. And then why is one of them the championship?
Has Phoenix ever been great during any package or any era?
I don't think so.
I think they just like it whenever they go 14 wide.
For
That's
one lap.
Oh, I do want to point out that I think Fox heard us because they zoomed out. You notice that?
I was appreciating
They did
that.
zoom out, so you're welcome.
It's cool. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to see that. Yeah, it's almost like Phoenix is the caution breeds cautions track. Otherwise, I mean, what else is there, especially in this era of Cup?
Yeah.
Well, there's always Denny Hamlin running out of talent.
Thank God. That's beautiful. Yeah, that was the gift we all were asking for.
Oh my God, did Gibbs wreck him? Or
Nope.
MTJ? No,
Yeah.
it was God. Thank you.
He gets us.
And I think we all can agree that
Did you really say that? Oh.
Oh,
It wasn't Ty Gibbs, though. It was actually
it was Reddick.
the car he owns.
It
It was
was
Reddick.
Reddick,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, it was. Denny ran into his own car and wrecked himself.
So I will put out there now that if a Joe Gibbs driver is going to win, I prefer it to be Christopher Bell.
Yeah.
He's a good
Yeah.
kid.
He is.
The only thing I don't like about him is he races in a Toyota.
That's true. And he was probably he was the fastest car today. Not probably. He was the fastest car today.
Yeah, and he cleanly passed like 20 cars to get to the lead.
He did. Because he started right with the 12 and the 45, and the 12 and the 45 made it into the top 10, but that was it. Yeah. Christopher Bell made it to the lead. So
I was thinking this whole time, I was like, the last 2 years he was in the Final Four. And I was thinking if he didn't blow his brakes last year, do you think we have a different champion?
I don't think so, because I think he blew his brakes because of how he was driving. Like, he was diving entries so hard, and I think
was like
that's
lap
why.
20.
I
wasn't
know.
It? It was like really early, but
it was at
you might
least
be right.
it was at least like 100. But yeah, you're right. It
Do you
was
guys
early.
think that the package difference did make a difference compared to the fall Phoenix race last year, the championship race? I mean, because it's not like Blaney was the dominant top 3 car all day, right? I mean, he was good. He got a top 5, but
I feel like it was like Denny said in the press conference, it was a 10% improvement, and I feel like I'm good with that because it feels like I feel like it was better than
good
the
in
fall.
terms of accuracy, right? Not like good in terms of this is perfect.
No, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, on a scale of like 0 to 100 of where this car should be on short tracks, we're at like a 30, and I think we were at a 20 last year.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't even know if it got any better. I think a lot of the events that happened throughout the race made for some interesting strategy. I do think the tire fall off was good. I mean, it's as good as it could be. If you were in traffic, you could see the big differences. Guys were gaining spots back in traffic. Now, if you were out front and you didn't take tires, it didn't make a difference. I mean, if you had clean air on the front of your nose, you were obviously great. It's kind of a shame that it didn't work out for Martin Truex Jr. That would have been...
He was moving.
That's
back
the other...
through. Well, actually, he was like, he unlapped himself.
And then got back to the top 10.
Top 10. That's crazy.
Yeah, he did. That was wild. So,
But
I mean, Michael McDowell took no tires or anything and finished top 10.
yeah, so
like
in
that-
traffic, you could make passes if you had like much newer tires, which he did. So, yeah. But out front,
It's, I don't know. Matt Weaver tweeted a thing about, as disappointing as this race was, he's not willing to totally throw in the towel in the short track car yet just because it's Phoenix. And I'm like, You're probably right.
It's a good point.
But man, the aero stuff, it's like rinse and repeat. I mean, listen to every podcast we've done for the past 3 years, and we talk about aero crap.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
You guys
like,
ready for Aero at Bristol? It's absurd. It sounds like it shouldn't be a thing.
Like they were talking
we'll
about,
get to that.
They were
Go
like
ahead,
talking about how excited they are for like concrete at Bristol. I'm like, do we really want to see concrete at Bristol when it comes to this package?
That's what's hard. The dirt actually was a better show with this car. Like it just was.
Took the
hot
air
take.
out of it.
It's
I
still
know.
called the Food City Dirt Race on.
I saw that. Yeah, Google did not update it. I got confused and thought, am I the one who's missing
I know,
something?
I was-
I went on the on NASCAR's website and realized, okay, it's just an error on Google's part. We're back to concrete.
Google's wrong.
Yeah, bunch of liberals. They don't know anything.
Speaking of liberals, did you guys know that Alex has a COVID test in his bathroom?
It's a COVID test, right?
Yeah, isn't that like the most liberal thing to do? Have
well,
spare COVID tests?
I'm just making sure because it wasn't like one of those things that had 2 lines on it.
No, it was a COVID
let's-
test.
There was other tests,
There was not a pregnancy
yeah,
test.
yeah.
No.
Hey, let's go around the room and tell everyone if we're vaccinated or not.
Sure.
I'm not. So
I'm not
sorry.
vaccinated anymore.
How does that work?
Sorry,
It worked out of my system. After it
Pfizer is
shut
out
da-
of me.
After it shut down all my organs.
Shrunk them.
Purged it. There you go.
It shrunk my most favorite organ, my pancreas.
Pancreas is very important to me. It's high.
So let's point out that Corey LaJoy and Carson Hocevar are dead tied at 70 points.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be they're pretty close in speed, which is nice. But I just want to know what the 71's doing. Like I thought they were built all built out the same shop. So I'm just kind of curious, kind of confused on why Zane Smith hasn't had the speed like the 77 and the 7.
I'm thinking we should file a missing persons report for him. I have not seen him at all.
I keep forgetting that he's actually in the cup.
It's wild, and it makes you think, like, what's he going to have, Trackhouse speed, or was he going to have Spire speed? And apparently he's worse than both.
Neither.
So-
We were all wrong.
He got the C-Class motor this year, I
He
guess.
has Spire 2022 speed or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are we sure that's not Ty
something.
Dillon in the car? I'm just
I-
saying.
Come on, man.
Oh, boy.
No, he's not that
He
bad.
was racing a
not
C-Class
that
motor
slow.
last year, but yeah.
Yes. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Like I thought all 3 Spires were running A's this year, but maybe I was incorrect on that. Maybe the 71 is rocking like a C tier.
Is Josh Berry rocking a C tier?
No, that's just
I haven't seen much of him in the top 15. Maybe once or twice.
He is 31st in points.
Yikes.
Right behind 30th, who is Joseph Logano.
yeah.
Wow.
30th.
And as much as I'd like to blame John Hunter Nemechek for that, I mean he was running 24th.
Yeah,
when
it's not
he
like
got
he
wrecked.
was
Yeah, like
anywhere that was going to make his.
Down.
yeah, it's not like it was a good day.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And they just, I mean, they were bad all day. I
Bad
mean,
all day.
It was weird because, Penske's like, this has always been like kind of a Penske track. And I mean, even Blaney, like he had top 5 speed, but that was it. Like he had one time he was up at the front and then he missed a turn and he was back to 7th. So it was just like, something's definitely different.
Some may right.
Something ain't
You know,
right.
The irony in Ross and Blaney like battling at the last second there for the top 5. I'm like, they just can't get away from each other
They
after
can't.
all that's
So
going
funny.
on.
That was great, though. I can't believe he edged him out.
The shame is I wish Fox would have shown it because the last 3 laps, they were having a banger of a race because I was watching the pylon and it kept going like Chastain, Kez, Blaney, Chastain.
Yeah.
And then at one point, Blaney was up to 4th and then back to 6th. And I'm like, meanwhile, we're watching the Christopher Bell who's leading by like 25 seconds. And I'm like, can we just, like, something's actually happening in this race? Can we watch it?
I didn't realize till maybe 10 minutes afterwards when I went and finished the end of the race. I went and hopped right in the shower, and then I was like, well, I better check all the interviews and see if anything interesting happened. Right as I was about to leave, and then it said, here's the battle for 5th place, and I was like, oh shoot, like I didn't even realize. Yeah,
Yep.
there was like a delay there. It was interesting. For a boring race, you did have enough stuff happen, including that there at the very end. So it's something to watch.
I think that's why I'm sticking with my 10% improvement. Like it was not like it wasn't amazing, but I thought it was 10% better.
So obviously Ross has had some magnetism when it comes to other drivers in controversy for reasons. most notably Denny Hamlin. But, if 12 is in his sights and he's in his, gravitational field, if you will, how are you feeling? You got to feel pretty good, right? Are you a little scared? Are you nervous?
So I'll be honest. What was really funny is because I was watching the pylon and I was watching him catch the one because he was like 2 or 3 seconds back from the one, and then he was 2, and then 1.5, and then 1, and I'm like, please, because honestly, I was halfway thinking about this podcast, and I was like, please just don't wreck. Like, please don't wreck each other and make this really awkward.
What do you mean? It would have been great for the podcast.
It would have been really
great
good
for the board.
I thought,
evaded.
did you like Kez and Chastain throwing sliders on each other? And I was
thought
like,
That was a
great.
hell of a slide job.
Yeah,
oh
I
my
thought it was
gosh.
great.
I'm like, please let one of them not make it and make it an interesting podcast. I was like, oh, this is going to be.
Don't worry,
like,
Alex. I'm here to make it an interesting podcast.
God bless you. God bless you. The racing product was low today, so.
A couple other notables. Now, there has been some accidents and unfortunate mistakes, but Ryan Preece is in dead last.
Is he really?
Dead
I don't know why that surprises me.
last.
It surprises me, too, because I've seen him in the top 10 a couple times.
You're telling me Austin Dillon's ahead of Ryan Preece? After
Austin Dillon
wrecked
is
every
ahead
race?
of Ryan Preece somehow.
And Zane Smith.
Oh, did he get fined?
Oh, no, Dillon got a top 10. Though.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
fined.
I'm not on
that's-
Twitter. What happened? He got fined?
The roof rails on the 10 and the 41
Yeah.
before Vegas.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Noah also got nailed. He's been racing well. He's in 26 in the
26,
points.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who had
Quit
Noah-
looking at my screen, you
Your
screen
screen.
watcher. This is my screen.
Nolan's cheating.
All right, I'll get my own screen next time.
Stealing my stats.
Gotta get another iMac
It's not like
in
we
here.
all have phones, David.
Not gonna be here
Stealing my
next time.
stats.
That's true. This might we are grateful to have one more in studio with you before you.
Yeah,
leave.
this is the send off.
This
Next
is the
time I'll be
send-off.
under the palm trees.
We're going to have to take a bush light and break it over your head like you're christened. No? Okay.
I just got a shower.
You can have another one.
My head hurts.
Yeah, Kaz Grala is in front of Ryan Preece in points. Zane Smith,
Wow.
Austin Dillon, Josh Berry, Joey Logano, Justin Haley, Todd Gilliland. Yeah, that's
Why is Todd so far back?
because he
That doesn't make
sucks.
sense.
Well, he
I don't know,
Two
man.
Top 10s, didn't he?
He's doing
but
good.
no, he led a lot of laps, but remember he got wrecked.
He just
both of
never
the
got
first
the
2
points.
weeks.
Never got the
he
stage
did get
points.
wrecked,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's crazy. So it's worth mentioning if we're going through points. I'm starting to feel bad for Austin Dillon. Like he has straight up the crappiest luck in the world this year.
Okay, and then the next topic will be
No, this is a good point. It actually just tied into a different storyline from the day. He's like the anti Corey LaJoie, well, at least up till today, where Corey, he didn't have a wreck or he didn't have a DNF since 2022. And then today's the first day that changed. And
Thanks,
then there's
Sean
Austin
Hunter.
Dillon.
It's
who
the first
just-
race he's finished.
He crashes every 10 laps in the first.
he hasn't
not
even
even
gone
like
through a
his
tank
fault
of gas. He hasn't gone through a tank of gas yet this year.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, you're
Laps
right.
before getting wrecked is probably under 20. You're right. It's probably very low.
Yeah. Kraus just ran out of talent for sure.
Oh yeah.
Why is he in Cup? He
Why-
hasn't done
why
jack
is-
but
I think-
money.
They've got to be selling
you're
that
right.
charter soon.
Yeah, big downgrade
If Derek
there.
Krause is going to wreck somebody, he should wreck John Hunter. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's what the people want. That's what the people are asking for.
The people want drivers with more talent.
Yes. Yeah.
You're
Speaking of which, Noah Gragson, I'm telling you,
Looking
it was
good.
it was the 42. He Kyle Larsoned himself into a better car.
He did under the knee.
I mean, he might be better than Amarola was last year in the 10.
He's
So
definitely
Oh, for
better than
sure.
Areola.
Yeah. I mean, Areola was good
I've
for
never
like 2
liked that
races a
guy,
year.
and then I found out he's from Gibbs, and then he went back to Gibbs. Makes so much sense now.
I know now you're locked in. It's like not even a question at this point. Like,
Douche.
You know how like his first actual Bush win or whatever it was, nationwide, whatever it was when he raced. It wasn't really a win because he filled in for Denny Hamlin after he started the race. And then,
yeah.
it's such a weird. It was such a weird scenario. Almost
I'd
like
forgotten about that.
yeah, that sticks in my head now that he's with Joe Gibbs again. I'm like, I wonder if maybe he'll have to leave the car and someone else will win for him. You know,
I don't know.
maybe the roles will reverse 20 years later.
I do hate seeing Gibbs sweep the weekend. It hurts my heart a little bit inside.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Christopher Bell, it's about as good as you can get, but it's still Joe Gibbs Racing.
So do we think the short track package has done anything?
Not for what they acted like they were going to do, and not like they should have done.
Yeah, I think it was just the tire wear that really came into play for that kind of stuff. But
thank God for once Goodyear actually showed up to the plate. It's worth mentioning Nolan's response to the text on Friday because I legit laughed out loud when I sent the screenshots of all the drivers complaining about how much the car sucked.
Oh,
and you said something to the effect of like, wow, what a shock. They went and did a test and no one liked it and they changed nothing.
Yeah, I said shocking considering they did a test and nobody felt any difference whatsoever. So, I mean, this is just a giant surprise.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It's not. We all knew this was coming. And sorry, I don't mean to be negative. I don't mean that. It's just,
So, last race. So, the last race of the year, Alex, you're on a high note. You know, Blaney wins championship.
Yeah.
First race back at Phoenix. Allgaier pops a tire with 5 to go with a 3-second lead. How did you feel about that?
The range of emotions that I experienced, because like I can't stand Chandler Smith. I can't because I can't stand a guy that will run like an absolute douche canoe all race and then go, oh, I want to give the glory to God. And I'm like, let's not tie God's name to anything you just did. Okay,
keep my name out your mouth.
Oh my gosh. So like to go from my driver like kicking everybody's tail, pulling away from the field, running a smart race, to like Chandler Smith winning the race, I was just like, I quit.
He was kind of mouthy with his crew. Like he was being very like awful. Mouthy and whatnot. And I wanted to mention something about that wreck with Allgaier. Did you notice he went on the apron 2 laps before that, really low on coming to the start finish line? And I was like, why did he do that? He could blow a tire. And 2 laps later, he blew a tire.
And I'm convinced because remember the 28 had that small issue. And they didn't throw a caution, and I'm convinced he picked up something from the 28, and that's what it was.
Yeah,
which I agree. Sucks.
And I was like, "What? Why did he go that low?" And then
I don't know.
I told my dad that something might happen, and it did. I was like, I should have betted on it.
Why not just run the wall and like he had like a 4.5 second lead, just like milk it.
Yeah, I agree, so and I like Allgaier, so I was like, man.
If nothing else, if he's in the championship 4, at least you have something to feel good about in terms of his performance at Phoenix going into that. But of course, he's got to get there,
right?
So. But it's early.
That's actually exactly what I was thinking about the Cup race.
Yeah,
RFK 2nd and 4th, and Buescher kind of got their own strategy, but Brad actually got 2 tires and then drove back up. So
yeah, I mean they were good.
David, you're buying tickets for Phoenix already?
I may or may not have talked to my wife about it.
Woke up from the nap. We're going to Phoenix, guys.
Here's the thing. I have this companion ticket that I have to use before the year's out.
Charlotte. Oh, yeah, you can't go to Charlotte. Never mind. So I'm telling you, when they bring the championship weekend back to Homestead, which I think is coming, there's enough talking right now. I think it's going to happen. I want to do that weekend. I think that'd be so much fun.
That'd be great for me. I'll be in the States.
That's true. And that's like a 2-hour drive for you at that point, right?
Yeah, whatever.
A little more?
Close
enough. But it's not much.
From you to Miami's really far down there.
Yeah, but
I know, but it's Miami in November.
Yeah. It'll be like 3 hours max. But.
Yeah. I'm doing it. I don't even care. I'll make it work. That sounds awesome.
I would love that. Any opportunity we have to link up, whether that's in between each other or in Florida at races, that'd be great. So
yeah. Well, we are doing Charlotte in May, which is fun.
Yep.
So that'll be good. It's like you have a little bit more, but it's almost an equal drive for us. It's
it'll be
in
close
the ballpark.
Enough. It'll be close enough.
So
I'm considering flying at this point. It really would be.
Charlotte's not that far from me. I mean, the airport. I'm sure you can get good rates out of it. They're not. Usually, Charlotte Airport has a lot of. It's pretty big.
Mitch, we got to get the tickets, unless you got them.
I know. Well, so there's a predicament.
Oh no.
Well, Dave knows about it, but I don't know if he's shared. But I have an interview this week with another job, so I don't know if I'll have. I don't know if I'll have even time off to go to it. So I have to debate if it's even worth taking another job to sacrifice all of these plans I have this summer. Just work-life balance type deal. So I'm kind of in the queue right now. So, but if since it's getting close, I don't want you to keep waiting. I'll figure out something either way. Or if anything,
Okay.
You can always buy Matt's ticket, and I'll just sit with Matt wherever we go if it's too late. But
All
Well,
right,
that's
yeah, we'll
true.
talk about it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we hope to have you because that'd be fun. And I am
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm believing and naming and claiming that the weather's going to be beautiful and it's going to be a fun weekend.
All right.
Yeah, especially if I don't go, that's probably what will happen.
One of us is the curse. I just don't know which one.
Yeah, it's definitely me. So I've accepted it.
So I have no clue what that note says.
What's that?
The one after JGR wrecks half the field.
Verstappen wins again.
Oh, it's,
LOL.
it's foreign. It's
I wrote Verstappen wins LOL.
Yeah, what is it?
what's a Verstappen? David's asking.
It's better you don't know. It really.
I don't
doesn't-
wanna know.
Doesn't mean anything. So.
And that is all the time that I really cared to dedicate to F1. So the
Yeah.
heck with that quad. I forgot to write down IndyCar had their first race of the season today.
They did.
And Joseph Newgarden kicked everyone's butt.
Oh my gosh, he was out by 8 seconds. He
It's
led like 90
ridiculous.
laps. Yeah.
And the other two Penske cars finished third and fourth. So it was a good. It was a Penske top 5 weekend in St. Petersburg.
It's almost like they own the sport. Cars Tour. Mitch, you want to talk about Car Tour?
Yeah, it was pretty
Car
good as an
tour.
opening.
Cars Tour.
So
Went full Shane Gillis
yeah.
there for a second.
hey, it happens.
Dave's acoustic, if you didn't know.
Oh my gosh. Cars tour, yes. So it got postponed to Sunday today, and they did single car qualifying, and one of the biggest names that missed this field was Stephen Nasse, Snowball Derby winner, and he decided to go to Cars tour for the full time this year. Ended up missing it. So that was kind of like a big, whoa, I can't believe that happened kind of deal. The race was pretty calm for the most part, and then like with David, you're crazy.
That wasn't me. I already opened mine.
Oh, it was Nolan.
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy. But yeah, it was a good race. A lot of controversy with the last 20 laps, and Kloppel keeps winning. So should be exciting to see him in the Xfinity Series in Martinsville.
Man, it's almost like they own the series.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, they do.
oh my
Junior's
God.
car, Junior Series.
David's. Oh, I guess we have the episode title for tonight now.
It's almost like they own the
It's
series.
almost like they own the series. Oh my gosh. What can we talk about next? Did Kyle Larson win a high limit race so we can talk about it?
Did they race?
Tony Stewart. No, never mind.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. I didn't even think of that until you said it.
All right. So, do you have the picks from this week? What we did?
I have why don't you talk about something and I'll find them.
Well, okay. While you're looking it up, I just want to say that my top 4 power rankings going into this season for Cup, where I believe I had Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson in S tier, whether we like it or not. With Denny, I had them in S tier, and then I had my 3rd and 4th highest rated drivers, Christopher Bell and William Byron, and 3 out of those 4 have won 3 of the first 4 races of the year, and Denny Hamlin's obviously been up near the front. Actually hasn't finished well, but he's been up near the front, and it's considerable. I think we've seen a lot of parity in the top 10, which is really interesting. Like guys like Noah Gragson are in the top 10. Guys like Carson Hocevar are apparently one of the better Chevys. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, I just think it's interesting that those 4 guys are pretty dominant to start the year. So
Yeah.
I think that is a good point. Like, huge shout out to Hocevar for his top 10 qualifying. That was
Honestly, that was a shock for me. It
was really
was
shocking.
definitely a shock.
it doesn't shock me, boys. I'm telling you, he's fast. I've been saying this. It's gonna happen.
On the host of our train.
He's going to get like a top. He almost finished, or he was running inside the top 5 at Bristol last year, and he had like something wrong. I think he had a loose wheel. He had a loose wheel at Bristol last year, and that's where they're going next week. This is the first track he's been at in a Cup car where he's been there twice, basically. I'm pretty sure.
and clearly Spire is better than Legacy. So
And yet Legacy's been in the top 10 too a couple of times. Not as steadily, but
Eric Jones looked good today until he got put in the fence.
they qualified well. Right?
Did you see who put him in the fence? No, it's no shock. It's no shock.
Was his teammate John Hunter?
No, it's Chase Briscoe.
Chase Briscoe.
The same guy
Oh,
that
well,
yeah.
yeah.
When
that's typical.
when the pressure's on, the 14 will wreck somebody. That is definitely a guarantee. I found our picks.
You found them?
But that was most of us went biased because Nolan picked the 1, I picked the 12, you picked the 24, and then we
I
just
technically picked the 45. If you watched the video this morning,
Oh, did you? I missed the video. Shoot.
I picked Reddick.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Well, on the podcast last week, you picked Corey LaJoy because I picked for you.
Not a Phoenix. Don't pick him
No,
at
I know.
Phoenix.
We just the
Contrary-
rest of us went biased. It felt right.
Actually,
you
that
know?
was his
Contrary to
last
popular
DNF was
belief,
at
you
Phoenix.
can beat a Reddick.
What's that?
So which one of us won? I won. I had fifth.
You won.
Yeah, by an inch.
But I actually won.
Wait,
Not
no.
much.
Because Brad got
Wait. David, why did you pick Brad?
Because I was trying not to be biased since everybody else did.
you
should have.
Fourth.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. And meanwhile, William Byron finishes what, 18th?
Yeah, he was nowhere to be found.
He's far enough down that I'm not scrolling to see.
There weren't a lot of Chevys in the top 15. I mean, what are the top Chevys here? Ross was 6th. That's the first Chevy.
And then... Wait, hang on, time out. Suarez.
Suarez in 13th.
Larson, Hocevar.
Hocevar.
Yeah.
Wild.
Byron was 18th. Chase was 19th. Now, a lot of that was because of that untimely caution because Denny Hamlin can't drive.
Right. That did mess
They
everything
cycled
up.
and they got stuck. They couldn't do anything about it.
But Toyotas overall, as much as this pains me to say, Toyotas were kind of the class of the field today.
Toyotas were good. And
Yeah.
I think it's something we need to worry about for the end of the year.
Well, so the only thing that's impressing me is because we saw it at Vegas last week and we saw it this week at Phoenix, the Fords start terrible. Like they just, whatever they're doing in sim is not good because they qualify poorly, they practice, and then they, like by the end of the race, like if you look at the results, there's a healthy amount of Fords up in the top 10. So I think when we start going to tracks for the second time or when we start going to similar tracks for the second time, I think Ford is going to enter the chat a little bit more aggressively. But
Yeah,
for
there's a lot
sure,
of
whatever
learning
they're doing
here.
in Sims is not working.
There's a lot of learning here with these new noses. We talked about it last week. And one of the things we talked about, or the broadcast talked about, and it was really neat to me, was how apparently Toyotas have more drag, but also more downforce. So at a place like Las Vegas, when the tire degradation hits, you have more grip in the corners if you're a Toyota in clean air because you have more downforce. Whereas a Ford, they obviously are very aerodynamic and they're so good at the plate races and stuff like that. And I find that interesting. And the Chevys apparently just have good best of both worlds, I guess. I don't know. But it's interesting in a track like this where top speed's not what matters, downforce is. And you saw a lot of Toyotas finish well and start well in qualifying. So, what's she doing, David?
I was trying
You
to
on the
highlight
meds
your
again?
Busch Light moment.
He's on the meds again. I love that you guys are such big fans of Ross. It's so cool.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Did they tell you what my daughter did this morning?
No.
So we're at the grocery store after church, and she's walking around patting watermelons like, this is a good one.
Nice.
All right, we'll get it. Put it in the cart. It's $13 for a little
Like a small one?
Biden economics right there. But yeah, like a little seedless guy. So we get up to
It's
the register.
shrinkflation. They're putting out smaller watermelons, and it's the farmer's fault. It's not the government's fault.
I think he
It's
said
the
that.
greedy
If there's one
farmers.
thing I know about Ross Chastain is he has big melons, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
So she's putting the watermelon up on the conveyor belt at the register and drops it.
Oh, no.
Split in half. And I thought,
I would have
she's a-
cheered if I was there.
She's a
but
Chastain fan.
I love that. That's a great story. I would have cheered if I
She's
was
birthed.
It was funny because when I saw your text come across, you're like, I think it's going to be a Chastain day. I'm like, I was starting to think in my head, like, nah, I don't think so. And then the second text came through. You're like, we had a watermelon break at the grocery store. And I was like, oh, yeah, solid pick. No, I think it's Chastain.
Yeah.
there. Strange omen.
The omen is there.
Hey, shout out to Phil Surgeon again, 2 weeks in a row. His crew chief, Ross's. I'm wearing the hat today because he did get that. Well, not top 5. He got top 6. But he was up there
Thanks,
because
Blaney.
he took 2 tires like he did last week when no one else did, or a lot of people didn't, and it worked out for them. And it's fun to be on the good end of rooting for a driver where like your crew chief is not only not a liability, but like they're actually ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
That always feels good. I do like that. It
I'm
was
glad
nice
you-
being a Jimmy Johnson fan and having Chad Canals.
Well,
Same
yeah,
thing.
that's true.
Like,
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like cheat codes.
Well, that
Yeah.
too.
So I guess while you're talking about that, what do you think about the Martin Truex Jr., James Small strategy?
Stupid.
I'm surprised he didn't try and fuel save. I think he was like 7 laps short. I don't see why you can't save that over the course of 80 laps.
I would think, especially with as bad as the arrow is there.
Well,
Like,
as
I don't
dominant as their cars were all day,
Yeah.
why are you even worried about traffic? Brad
Well,
made it
and
up
that's
through.
true. That's true.
Like, if you don't got enough fuel, It's like, are we going to pit now? Or like, what were they thinking? Like, no matter what, they were cycling to the back. Nobody else is going to pit.
Yeah. I mean, the thought was if they would have come, I mean, I guess it's easy to Monday morning quarterback, but like if they would have come in and did fuel only, they still would have started, I think, 4th or 3rd because there was only 2 cars that didn't pit. The fuel only people started 3rd. So he was running in the lead or second when the caution came out.
Yeah, I think 2 tires and fuel was the move there, but it was
That's what Brad
interesting. It was interesting in the end because he did end up finishing. Where did he finish?
Is it 9th? I think it was 9th.
Yeah, that's actually insane.
I scrolled.
Yeah, he did.
You were trying to find Austin Dillon, weren't you?
7th.
Truex finished 7th after
7th.
all that. That's actually really
insane.
impressive.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, he drove through with like 10 laps to go.
Wow. He could have passed
Yeah, but all
Ross.
you
He
did was
unlapped
restart.
himself and made it to 7th. It might have been 30 laps to go.
Wow. Well, to answer your question, I can't take anything away from him because it ended up being a pretty solid points day for him. So
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. Christopher Bell was probably the class of the field, though.
I think
Like
so.
he was probably going to win regardless. So yeah, good
Yeah,
call.
I mean,
Yeah.
even Denny Hamlin, I mean, he was obviously out there.
he was good.
He drove-
Good speed too.
He drove
Yeah,
up through. I mean,
I don't know if he had
11th.
winning speed though, because he never could maintain the lead. Like somebody was always better than him, but he was like top 3.
Well, everybody's better than Denny Hamlin. But
That's true.
I think it is time.
Even Carson Hocevar.
It is that time in the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, where we look at who got last place in the race. And this is my favorite topic, especially when it's Austin Cindric. Way to be big guy.
Is this going to be our weekly David hates Austin Cindric
Only
clip?
when he gets last, which just happens to be all the damn time.
This is the only time you've ever rooted for Austin Cindric.
He got wrecked. I was like, oh man. Took out Austin Dillon and Austin Cindric.
Oh,
Both the worthless princes of their companies.
oh my gosh, this is so funny.
But then Corey got wrecked, and I felt bad about that.
Yeah.
It's all good. Life goes on.
Life goes on.
It's just what you do. All right.
Hey guys, you know the season's early. Even when I look at like Joey Logano 30th in points, and it's like there's no way this is going to keep going. By mid-season, these guys are going to be in the top 15.
Yeah, we get a couple normal races.
You get a win.
Yeah.
You get a win. You're good. That's all that matters.
Now I don't have it. Well, shoot, Logano has been. This is the first weekend of the year that he hasn't started on the front row. That's kind of crazy. It's going to hit for him at some point here.
Yeah, he's been. You're right. He's the most exceptional last place driver out there.
Yeah, there's no way this
Just
holds.
keeps. He's some bad luck.
Yeah.
He didn't seem
he's
very
really
happy
good at
with
winning. He's really good at winning like random races. Like we're going to Iowa this year, so he'll probably win that.
That's true.
He
He's
is
good
good
at
at
One-offs or
those.
whatever.
He's good at the first time wins for sure.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, so I mean, look at Joey Logano last year. He wasn't good. Like he was a mid driver all year, and we're kind of seeing that again already. Like I think, I don't
with
know.
speed. He's got
With-
speed. He's qualifying well.
True, but and then he just doesn't
So it's
do
Mike
anything
McDowell.
with it. Well, yeah. Honestly, McDowell's doing more with it, I think, than Logano is, right?
Well, Logano's
That's what I'm
gotten
saying.
wrecked
He's
every
been in-
single time.
Yeah.
Well, it's true.
He got wrecked by.
No,
yeah,
he
got
wrecked
by that.
himself at
Yeah,
Atlanta.
Well,
Yeah, he did. Well,
So-
Cindric blocked him, and then
Yeah. Oh, the car got tight. No, you turned the wheel right, bro. We watched you. Like, yeah. So,
I got
don't
one
know.
more question for you guys. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just looking here. Do you guys think Ross Chastain is
gay. Sorry, you left like this
it
much
there,
room
guy.
for me to say it. I had to.
You let the intrusive thoughts in.
Body's telling me no.
No filter. What was my train of thought? Now I'm going to take an even longer pause. What the hell was I going to say?
Ross Chastain.
Is Ross Chastain? I was comparing him to Hendrick and their performance. Like prior to today, Trackhouse had won 2 of the last 4 races in the Cup, and that includes the end of last year. That's pretty impressive to me. He finished top 5, or did not finish top 5 today, but he was the best Chevy today in terms of finish. You know, and they just continually get it done, and it just makes me think that like Trackhouse is really like Hendrick extended. You know what I mean? Not because they're actually like in that deep alliance, but in terms of Chevy, they are. And I think that with Ross there, you actually have It's almost like a fifth Hendrick driver. I think he's better than Bowman, put it that way.
The part I'm going to be really curious to see is the summer stretch, because I feel like that's where the best teams always, like, it really becomes obvious. So,
yeah.
But yeah, like right now, I am seeing 2022 Ross for sure. Like, he's kind of doesn't give a crap anymore.
He's there.
Fast. Yeah, like I think we're seeing 2022 Ross again.
I mean, he's 7th in points. He wrecked out of Daytona where he was basically going for the lead, going for the win, you know. So, I mean, this guy is there.
Yeah.
I mean, this might be his best year yet if this is early indications are telling us anything.
He's got a shot is what we're saying. He's got a shot.
What else we got here? 16-year-old Isabella Robusto. Is it Robusto?
I think, honestly, I've never heard of her before Friday, so it's a guess for all of us.
Same.
She races at Hickory Motor Speedway, and I remember when I was down there, she would race late models. So she's part of she raced a little bit of the car store and whatnot. So she's a late model driver. But do you guys know about her story last year?
No, fill us in.
Yeah, I've never heard of her until Friday, so I'm curious to hear.
So she was racing a late model race at Hickory and got a really bad accident, had a concussion for about 6 or 7 months of the year. So she almost didn't race for the rest of the year, basically, because of very vicious wreck. Going into turn 1, hit the inside wall, no safer barriers, just concussed. And I didn't even know that she was 16. I thought she was older than that because she was racing late models, but I guess you can race late models at a young age. Either way, so she was out of the car. I didn't even know she had an ARCA start this year, where she was going to race an ARCA. But the fact that she was running top 5 after not even being in a car half the year last year with her injury that she had, with not a lot of seat time, and she was able to pass Grant Enfinger, who has won, I think, at Phoenix in a truck. You know, guys and people that won races outran all the other women drivers there. And it's her first start, and she's like half their age.
Oh, it was crazy impressive. And I know I make the point a lot where if it's your first race, your goal is not to be noticed. Like, don't do anything stupid, basically. And not only did she meet that goal, because she really kept herself off everyone's radar. And then at the end of the race, you're like, oh crap, she's 6th, I think? 6th or 7th. Right. Like, it was really impressive.
And she might be the only female driver out there that doesn't use social media for clout. I'm not trying to say that in a bad way, but she's an authentic racer. She races, and I'm not sure if she even posts on social media, to be honest. But
well, from a racecraft standpoint, I was really impressed. I didn't really watch much of her, but just the performance, it speaks a lot, and just everything that you said. I find that really interesting. Obviously, women in NASCAR is always going to be a topic. More of them are filtering in every year, it seems like. And by far, in my short exposure to this one, at 16 years old, I wouldn't care if it was a guy. It wouldn't matter at all. To finish that well at this level of competition, I mean, I know it's not the highest, but, I mean, you're there.
There was 20-some cars, yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's really impressive. Good. It's really impressive to me. So that's somebody I'm going to be paying attention to moving forward. And, that excites me.
And you didn't look like the circus, you know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of people doing dumb stuff like you always see in an ARCA race, and she wasn't part of it.
Yeah, I didn't see her drive through anyone to get there, you know what I mean?
No, so. I was wicked impressed. So I'm really curious to see what she does.
She was cleaner than John Hunter Nemechek.
Well, that's not hard.
Yeah, everyone is. Jeez. Chase Briscoe wrecks less people than John Hunter Nemechek.
Bristol Dirt is cleaner than John Hunter Nemechek.
That's a good one.
And with that, we hate that guy.
Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan, man. Not a fan.
I do have an overlooked story from the weekend that I was paying attention to that I'm really happy about. I almost forgot about it, even though it just happened yesterday. And that's SVG finishing 6th.
Yeah, good catch.
At Phoenix. And this is his first finish at an oval that isn't a plate race, which as if that's a disqualifier of any kind. He finished really well at Daytona and Atlanta, which that's not an easy walk in the park, as a first-time NASCAR driver. He had a blow up in Vegas, but then he ended up finishing 6th at Phoenix, which is a pretty technical track. It's a physical track. I'm really impressed by that. And for a guy that's come in here, I mean, I'm just so impressed. I was watching not his onboard, but I was listening to his crew, his chatter and stuff like that. This guy absorbs racing like a sponge. And Xfinity has the week off next week, and then they're going to Circuit of the Americas, which is his wheelhouse. I'm so excited for him. He's so on my radar. If you aren't paying attention and you're listening to this and you like Xfinity, you might want to pay attention to SVG, or you're probably going to be. You might be forced to pay attention to him if you're going to tune into the next race.
He is 14th in points.
Yeah, that's really impressive. So, I mean, and he's
Sam
only getting
Mayer is
better.
24th. Eric Suxola is 25th.
He's
Jeb Burton.
part-time, David.
Still sucks.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, very impressed with SVG. So are you, let's just throw it out there. Are you predicting an SVG win in 2 weeks?
It's very hard to do considering I don't even know if there's gonna be any ringers in there from Cup.
And like AJ
usually there
Allmendinger's
are
in the field.
I think Chase Elliott's gonna be in there, and then AJ Allmendinger. That's exactly my point. So it's hard to say. I mean, I expect them to do well. Sure.
How embarrassing is it for Dinger if SVG comes in and just whoops his ass?
Ross whooped his ass at Coda, so I mean that's embarrassing. 2 years ago.
Well, he didn't whoop, he punted. But,
yeah, well,
That's true.
he deserved it.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the weekend. Bristol. If we back up to Saturday, it is the opening day for BAPS Motor Speedway.
Is it really?
It is.
I did not know that.
So I'm pretty excited for that. I won't be able to go because I have a gig. However,
I think I do too, actually.
go Tony Jackson.
Oh my God.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know these people.
I know.
Yeah. Seeing our buddies, Johnny and Kenny, racing again this year in the Super Sportsman. So it'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
Is Kenny doing 410s, or is that what Super Sportsman
Yes.
is?
No, he's doing both.
He's doing both.
Okay, double duty each time, or
Only, I think it sounds like he's only going to race the 410s on off nights of the Sportsman.
okay.
And
Or double headers, I think.
Do you guys do that? Because that would be really hard to do, right? Swapping vehicles, classes, in a dirt race.
Why not, right?
probably wouldn't be, I mean,
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine it's a very different driving craft. So
from
yeah,
what I
true.
understand, it is very.
Yeah. That's a lot of motor in a 410. Like, that's a lot of motor.
Hey, Kenny, if you're listening, if you haven't tuned out because of our negativity, good luck this season. I'm rooting for you from
It's going
Florida.
to be good. I'm excited. Man, maybe I'll go to BAPS Saturday night if I can. That'd be fun.
I have a musical and a gig.
Ew.
Yeah.
What musical are you doing?
My daughter is in the High School Musical.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Are you
Have
all
fun.
in it together?
Just
That's
for
a
that
good
comment,
one.
your dad's price just went up.
Oh, no. I should warn him.
ROI on that.
Probably not good.
Probably not.
So what are we thinking about Bristol this weekend? Like, is optimism low? Is it high? Is it somewhere in the middle?
I'm picking Brad Keselowski.
Oh, that's not what I meant. But yes, okay. That's a valid thing too to say.
I have some thoughts on this because I do vividly remember Bristol from last year. I remember you were driving from somewhere and you missed the first 100 laps. Don't get too scared in the first 100 laps if it's super single file because they lay down a ridiculous amount of rubber. And then you do get like two groove racing. It's really weird. It's going to be a little odd, but I'm expecting it to be better than Phoenix. I'm expecting passes. I'm expecting a fun race. I think it's not the Bristol we know and love, or like when you tune into the Xfinity race, it's not going to be the same product. You're looking at like GT3 cars out there at Bristol running laps, but
Which is still weird.
But you can pass. You can pass if the fall race last year is any indication. I expect an uptick in entertainment in racing. It's not going to be perfect, but I think it'll be good. So I'm excited. You made your pick?
That's what I'm going with.
You're going with Brad K.
Man, I got to think about it. What do you got, Alex?
Man, I hate to go Yoder, but I don't. How do you pick? Like, I have no idea what to expect. I mean, maybe look at last year.
Well, look, Mitch is betting 1,000 at being wrong. So
I am.
It's a great way of putting it.
True.
it's 100% of the time he's wrong all the time.
All the time.
Very true.
I love you, buddy.
I mean,
I
I
love
feel
you
like you're
too.
going to see similar faces at the front. So it's going to be like, it's probably going to be like Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, that's
But-
what I was thinking.
No, I can't bring myself to do it. Like,
I'll do it for you.
Okay.
I'm going Denny Hamlin.
I'm glad he's moving to Florida.
Hey, I'm not proud of it, but
Mitch, who you taking? I'm just going last. I'm kicking this can as far down the road as I can.
Well, I think the 11's a really good pick, but I do think it's going to be Kyle Busch. I think he is pissed off and ready to win, and then he loves Bristol, and he's a badass. He needs to win. Yeah.
if Denny Hamlin changed manufacturers, would we call him a bad and stuff like that? Because it's so funny.
No,
we talk about
because
the rhetoric.
he probably won't do as well.
Well, fair enough. I mean, if he went to Hendrick or something, I don't know. Maybe that would tick more people off than not. But like,
Because he has to change his attitude. Because like Kyle Busch, has he been a douche since he's left? I don't think he has. In my opinion.
okay, but you're right. But I do vividly remember the last year at JGR in person at Darlington, watching him walk off, leave his car in the middle of pit road. You guys
It's
remember
Joe
that?
Gibbs syndrome. Yeah. Oh, you're right.
I don't
You're
know
right.
if he just totally like changed as a person, but
He
it's not.
did.
He's only.
It's the Patriots.
He found Jesus.
I get,
That's funny because you say that because Joe Gibbs is such a preacher kind of guy.
Yeah, he's what we like to call the Antichrist.
Yeah. Oh, he's for sure the Antichrist. I'll back this up all day.
Is he like Michael Todd kind of deal?
It's like written
about
in
that?
scripture.
It's not heresy as much as just straight Antichrist.
Yeah.
Just they're praying on the sidelines. He's worshiping the devil. It's like what?
I'll never forget when his car won at Martinsville and he threw something on the ground because that car beat Ty Gibbs. Joe is blinded by his grandson,
right.
and
It
that
was
is the biggest problem at that
Joe.
organization.
that's insane.
That was,
Yep.
that was
That's
so
insane.
I do remember that.
yeah.
Did you pick?
Tyler Reddick. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a Toyota, and that's about the only one I can stomach to pick. So Tyler Reddick.
All right, fair enough.
And then, so if we look to the Craftsman Truck Series, which is racing,
Ty Majeski. Next.
Ty Majeski. I'm going to go old school into my Ford roots and pick Mr. Benjamin Rhodes.
I knew you were going to pick him, too. I
You
could
said
feel
old
it
school.
inside.
I thought you were going to say Crafton. Come on, bro.
Crafton doesn't win anymore.
Crafton.
I wish he did. I miss Crafton. Lane Riggs.
Who?
Ooh.
Lane Riggs.
Man, that would be
He has-
exciting.
Yeah, he likes short tracks, and I think this is going to fit him pretty well.
And that would be
Like,
so
he just
cool to see the 38 get
just-
some speed again.
Yep, he just keeps getting wrecked or in something else every week. It seems like Daytona was such a dumb thing. Like his car wasn't even that bad, but somehow he didn't make minimum speed, and it really pissed me off. I think he's going to do well. I'll get a top 10 at least.
You know what? I'm going to do something insane. I'm going to go Raja Karuth because why
Oh,
not?
gosh.
Just because it's fun.
Well, Spire's undefeated, right?
They're really
That
good.
is true. I think
is
it's
also
on this.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come
There's,
on. So, I mean, are there any Cup guys going there? That's the real
I
question.
didn't even look it up.
That's the
That's
real
true.
question.
Kyle
Who-
Busch probably.
Well, yeah, he's trying to get them out done early, I heard. So, yeah, it could be.
It's probably Kyle Busch. I take it back.
Nah, shoot.
Maybe we should have a rule that we can't pick ringers when we're picking trucks. Like,
Lane Riggs
yeah,
it is.
honestly,
Lane Riggs
yeah.
it is.
Should we stick with series normal?
Yeah.
series normal. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that.
Well, then what do
Points.
you do for guys like Amarola, who's not a serious normal, but he's not
No,
really a ringer?
he's now a series. He's a series normal.
Yeah,
now.
he is now.
He's
He's not a
series-
cup driver anymore.
He's definitely not a
He's
ringer.
retired.
And he's not going to win, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, isn't he a part timer too, though? Amarola's
No,
also a
no.
part timer, though.
Yeah,
I'm
You're
talking
right.
about in
I see what
Xfinity.
you're saying, 'cause he's not a
can't pick
points-
Ryan Truex. He's a part timer.
It's not like I heard Boris said is going to race at Coda. I think I forget for him.
yeah. I guess
That's
so. We can do the
eligible.
part
That's a ringer.
timers, but not the.
not like if you're coming down a series, you can't pick them.
What I mean,
Not,
yeah,
not
okay.
cup
Why are we
eligible.
talking about
If
it
you're a
this
cup,
long?
Yeah. Basically, you can't pick Kyle Busch in the truck series. That's what we're saying.
Damn it!
But you can pick other part timers. Yes, yeah. So, like Ryan Truex, like Dover comes around. I know Mitch is going to want to pick Ryan Truex, and so it's like we can't be like, well, he's a
Yeah.
part timer. I mean,
he's not a
he's
cup driver
eligible.
though.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not Martin. If it was Martin Truex, off the table. Kind of deal.
Okay. We'll just do anytime there's a cup guy in there like Chase Elliott at Coda. We can be like, well, it just who among the regulars, the series regulars, are going to finish the top, the highest.
I like it. I can dig it.
It's in the bylaws.
It's in the Bible. And so it is
It's
written.
been drafted. So let it
Mark
be
the minutes.
So let it be done.
I think that about wraps up the show.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Nolan, have a safe drive to Florida.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you both.
You will be missed.
have a
You will
safe
be
drive.
missed.
Mitch, I will be over to see Lefty in the morning.
Give him lots of love.
I'll give him all the loving. And Alex?
Whatever. Hi.
See you soon, right?
Did not expect that.
We will see you next week.
We will. It'll be good. And we got to figure out how to have two of you guys remote. I still haven't worked that logistically out, but we'll get there. It'll be good. We got a whole week.
We'll
Be
get it.
fine.
Yeah.
We'll get it. All right, guys. Looking forward to it. Have a good week.
Holla!
Have a good one.
Hey, have a good time. Hey, that about wraps it up.
Peace.
Hey, see you guys next week.
On the Racing Addicts podcast.